And a very pleasant, good Sunday morning to each and every one of you. Today, May the 27th, 2018, and a very good Memorial Day weekend to everyone. And I want to go ahead and say for tomorrow, everyone who has served us, thank you. Of course, now what we're looking at is the floater out in the water from Alberto, and this is the water vapor imagery loop. A lot of things are going on, okay? Yesterday, if you guys remember correctly, I said Fort Walton Beach. Well, now I'm going to bump it over a little more to the east. Really, anywhere from Pensacola now, I think, to Carabella, okay? Anywhere in there. Now, Alberto is still a subtropical system, but that may change by around lunchtime today, sometime around lunchtime, because the water that it's in now is getting pretty warm. It's from 79 to 81 degrees, and that's perfect for it to intensify. And we're going to get to the National Hurricane Center's forecast in just a moment. But I wanted to show you this, and of course, the points that it looks like it is going to be going is right over in this area and then up in Alabama. Okay, that is the forecast points. Now let's take a look at the radar in here, and you can see all the different counties. You know what county you live in, where the rain at this time seems to be going on or is coming your way. Okay, so there's the radar as of this morning around 9:30 a.m. EDT time. What else is going on? Let's check out the winds. We have the low winds. Don't look too bad at all. Don't even hardly see any. Well, let's see. Nope, not many winds at all. The medium winds, however, the high density winds at the mid-level of 400 to 699 millibars. Yeah, we got some of those coming in. We can see that. So, now, let's take all of those off and let's get up to the high density winds at the level of 100 to 399 millibars. Oh my goodness, there they are. You can see them in all their glory. And it's right over in this eastern quadrant, okay, that comes around, coming up and coming around. You can see it right there. I don't know if we have any fronts this morning. There's so much to check out. I wanted to get this out for you guys. Doesn't look like too many fronts is going to be able to do a whole lot with this, except we did have that high, like I showed you the other day, keeping this in this general vicinity. So, now, let's go check out the National Hurricane Center. Okay, here we go. The latest one out, 7:50 this morning, Eastern Daylight Time. Sustained winds are bumped up 5 miles per hour. Right now, the maximum sustained winds are 45 miles per hour. See, it's beginning to get a little bit of intensification because the water it's in right now is like 81 degrees, okay? And it has that chance to grow. The minimum central pressure, 997 millibars. If you're tracking it, 0.3 north, 84.4 west, and it has picked up speed, moving north at 15 miles per hour. Here's the tracking map from the National Hurricane Center. Now, wherever you see this blue, you are under a tropical storm warning. This is a warning area all the way from down here starting. It started at 8 o'clock this morning. And this is where the storm is located. And it's going all the way around, okay? And this little bit of yellow, that's a tropical storm watch in the lower Mississippi area right there. That's tropical storm watch. Okay, this is where it was, the storm itself. As of 8 a.m. this morning, by 2 a.m. tomorrow, it should be here. And I am thinking that the storm should be coming in probably sometime between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. We'll just have to wait and see, okay? They've got it up here in Alabama at 2 a.m. Tuesday. So tomorrow afternoon in general is when this thing, whatever it is, if it's a great big old thunder nasty storm or still a subtropical area or a tropical storm, no matter what it is, it's going to bring a lot of rain. And for everybody that is in this area of Florida, the Panhandle area in general, you need to make sure you got your stuff together and that you're all set to hunker back and stay inside and be prepared for whatever may come your way. Okay, here we go with what the National Hurricane Center is forecasting for people to get rain out of this system. There's something else about this system I want to say, like right in here where this heavy rain is, this is the areas of potential where it comes in land. You're going to get the most of the rain, okay? But this system is going to go up and even farther than this map goes, all the way up north. Then it's going to turn around and come back down. But it will just be a low pressure. It won't be a storm when it does all this. But I'm very amazed. And then it will go off my coast. I am very amazed at how this thing is going to loop. So that gives me a little indication that another indication these storms are very active no matter what strength they are. So this year could be a humdinger. I'm not saying it is. It could be a humdinger once the hurricane season really gets going. So keep that in mind, okay? All right, here we go. Up in Virginia, you guys got, this is as far as it goes, right up in this area. Everybody in the very light green, that's 1 inch of rain. 1 inch of rain. I'm down in the 2-inch bracket, okay? Where it's darker green, that's 2 inches, maybe 3. I'll stretch this graph out a bit, but I'd say anywhere from 1 to 3 inches where it's darker green. Now, when you get up into the yellow, that's like 4 to 6 inches of rain. It can vary wherever it's yellow. And then down here, of course, in the orange, 6 to 10. Let's hope it don't stall. If so, you could get much, much more rain, okay? So that's what that's looking like. And of course, down in this area, 4 inches, maybe 6. Now, I know you guys, if you're paying attention to your local forecast and you're checking everything out, a lot of you guys are swamped with advisories. Everything from hurricane statements to tropical storm warnings, tropical storm watches, flooding, flash flooding. I'm under, all of eastern North Carolina is under a flash flood watch, but as you can see, it's a slight 10% risk. The National Hurricane Center is putting this out just in case, like I always say, remember all this can change, that it does. These things you cannot pinpoint the forecast exactly. You just have to take it day by day, hour by hour, and do the best you can with it. But this is what it's looking like right now from the National Hurricane Center. Now, if we move this up north, we can see a little bit of Virginia, probably Norfolk. You guys just got wherever it's this green, all in Florida, South Carolina, Georgia. That's a 5%. When you get into the yellow, that's a 10%. And when you get over here to this color right here, that's 20%. More than likely, if any flooding goes on at all, it's going to be in the panhandle of Florida, parts of Georgia, and parts of Alabama. Here is the storm surge map, and everyone is still under a watch wherever you see this. There's no warnings out yet. Everything is still a watch from not quite Mississippi, but almost up in Mobile, Pensacola, as we move on around all these areas, right on down to here. This is a storm surge watch you are under. It could happen. It might not happen. And what we're looking at now, this is the storm surge potential flooding map if it were to happen. Okay, I want to show you I'm not making this up. If it's green, that's just a foot above ground. If it's yellow, it's greater than 3 feet above ground. So that gives you some idea about what to expect, okay? If this occurs, this is where they think this may happen. And if it does happen, it's going to happen during high tide, okay? We all know that. Okay, it's starting down right in this area, moving up to Hermosa Springs area, coming on across. You know, if you live in any of these areas or close by. And this is just right around the coastal sections, okay? Remember, yellow is 3 feet above ground, blue is 1 feet above ground, or 1 foot above ground. So we move on across. I'll try to make this a little bigger in case I miss something in these very small places. This is looking pretty good right now, not too bad. And we'll move up this way. And then there's nothing. It changed a lot because yesterday it was a lot more, if we remember this correctly. So this is what it's like right now in the latest update from the National Hurricane Center. We have a little bit down around here. All of these little places, it's like a foot above what it usually is. A little more up in this area, that's like 3 feet above, if you live up in those areas. We have a lot of the 3 feet and above up in here. I just want to make sure you guys see this so you'll know, okay? And then down when we get down in this area. And that's what that's looking like. So that's going to give you an idea of what to prepare for. And we're going to end it up with the National Hurricane Center's latest discussion. Now, Alberto appears to be a little better organized this morning. As we have seen, the wind's a little more, it's picking up speed, with an area of deep convection gradually expanding near and to the north of the center. Now, this large band of showers and thunderstorms extends well to the east of the center, from western Cuba to South Florida and the northwestern Bahamas. Despite the improved organization, a fairly recent ASCAT pass showed maximum winds of about 35 knots, and therefore the initial wind speed is held at that value. Now, based on the system structure, it still appears to be subtropical, but it is gaining some more tropical characteristics. The Air Force Hurricane Hunter aircraft is scheduled to investigate Alberto later this morning, and it should provide us a better assessment of its intensity structure. Now, the initial motion is highly uncertain since the center of the storm has been reforming and wobbling around. In fact, another center reformation cannot be ruled out since Doppler radar images show a pronounced mid-level circulation to the northeast of the low-level center. That was the winds I was showing you a while ago. Now, Alberto is expected to turn northward later today and then northwestward tonight as it moves around the eastern side of the cutoff mid to upper level low over the central Gulf of Mexico. After Alberto merges with the upper low, a turn back to the north is forecast by tomorrow night and Tuesday, and the latest model guidance has shifted notably to the right, further east, just like I told you, and the National Hurricane Track Forecast has been adjusted to about 30 nautical miles in that direction. Now, the eastward shift necessitates extending the tropical storm warning along the Gulf Coast of Florida. So they had to do that just to be on the safe side, okay? Now, even though Alberto has not yet strengthened, slow intensification does seem likely, and I think it probably will if it stays like it is now. We'll just have to wait and see. Now, if this intensification consists of it will be from the defluence associated with a negatively tilted upper low trough, lower shear, and marginally warm waters, just like I was talking about in the Gulf of Mexico. However, the intensity models show a weaker solution to the cycle, perhaps because the center may move inland a little sooner, and no model shows Alberto reaching hurricane strength. Well, I don't think it's going to be hurricane strength. At some point, though, it did have hurricane gust of winds. Now, whether it has gust of hurricane strength winds when it finally gets to where it's going to make landfall and then slowly just fizzle on out is yet to be known. We'll have to wait and see. Okay. Now, Alberto is likely to complete its transition to a tropical storm within 24 hours when it moves into an area of light shear, which should allow the cyclone to develop a deeper warm core and become more symmetric. So that's what it's looking like, my friends, as of now for subtropical storm Alberto. With the latest information now from the National Hurricane Center, I do think it has a great possibility of turning into a tropical storm. We'll have to wait and see. I think it will. So far as the wind goes, everybody should have some nice breezes and some gusts, maybe 45, 50, 55, maybe even 60. But that's just wind gusts once in a while. But everybody should have sustained winds, especially when it gets a little closer to the panhandle of Florida, of anywhere from 20 to 35, 40 miles per hour. Okay, that's what it's looking like now. So when the next update comes out, I'll be sure and post it for you, everybody. Please don't forget to check on everything. How else can I say it? Check on your neighbors, check on the elderly, check on the handicapped. Make sure your pets are taken care of and close by you. Make sure your plans are together. If you were to be told you needed to evacuate and you make your own mind up about that, make sure that you would be ready and have everything done and all your supplies are up. Okay? I love you guys. Please subscribe, click the bell, make sure you get all the latest in weather news, forecasts, and alerts as they happen. I'm J7409, and I'm wishing each of you a great day and very much peace, love, and kindness to all of you.